Welcome back to your Thunder Bay North Stars franchise mode. I hope this is enough emotion for you. For the person criticizing me for not showing enough emotion on the intro, I will do better. If you remember correctly, we left off last episode going through the whole season. It was a great season. We are looking absolutely fantastic. We did make some moves at the deadline. We made some moves in the offseason, and we are all set up for what we can only hope is a long playoff run. So in the first round, we are facing the Winnipeg Jets. Their offense is amazing. We are going to look at their roster here in just a couple seconds just to give you a recap. Their defense, well, compared to R94, not too good. And their goaltending as well, we have the advantage. So we are 3-0 in the advantage category, which means we're likely going to lose in 5 or 6 games. But we will try to do our best to prevent that. So let's take a quick look here at the Winnipeg lineup, and we will see what we're facing. And we will notice once we get there, we are facing a very deep forward core. When you have Vasalainen, Mayers, and Laine on the first line, so you have a 290 overalls, 90, 91, and 86. You have Mason Appleton, Kyle Connor, and Mark Stone on the second. Some reason you have Mark Scheifele, who is your third best forward on the third line. Why not, right? Nikolai Goldobin and Clinton Heinold. And then you have a 40-year-old Claude Giroux on the fourth line with Sean Curley and Bernard Bilo? Beautiful? I don't know. Mr. Beautiful, we'll call him. So you can see they're very deep. Now, putting an 87 on your third line is probably why they get such a boost overall, but it is a pretty good offense. Defensively, they have Sami Niku, Neil Poink, Gage Hutchinson, Mr. Connor Hobbs, Dennis Chalotski, and Jacob Larson. So they're not great defensively. A 75 and an 80, a couple 80 overalls. Really, they have 3 80 overalls, 75, 81, and 85, so not great. In between the pipes, they are rocking Lassie Jonesu, cool, and Wesley Bustad. So again, nothing fantastic. In scratch, they have Sammy Morin, Brady McNabb, and Kyle Wood. So they do have some good Kyle Wood, 6'7", 236. What a beast! And again, this guy's 6'4". I don't know why they're not playing these two. Jeez, even all three of these guys are big, bad boys. I would play them all versus what they have starting, but that's why I'm not the coach and manager of the Winnipeg Jets. The team we are rocking, a 98 overall offense, centered with our superstar, Andre Barkov. Wow, sorry, I was just looking at something else. Alexander Barkov. Sorry, guys. Alexander Barkov, Sasha Barkov, sitting at a 93 overall. We have Mr. Jaden Kincaid, our 18-year-old franchise player, and Mr. Will Nye, the hockey guy, with Sven Nyquist, Klim Kostin, and Arthur Ald. So, our worst player on our top 6 is an 87, and he's a rookie. So, we did get rid of the +5 this year, but honestly, you can't complain with how well these guys have been playing together. Our third line's pretty solid, too, with Mr. Avery, who is a low elite and finally cracked the NHL roster. Mr. Cole Perfetti and Lucas Raymond. Likely going to be the last year for maybe both of these guys. And Perfetti and Raymond, they're 26. They didn't pan out the same way, but let's get them one last run here of a Stanley Cup. Mr. Liam Foodie, Jacob Verbaska Carlson, and Nick Merkley rounding up the fourth line there. But our top line, again, we said 87 overall on their third. We have an 86, 84, and 81. We are just solid all the way through. Defensively, Granowski is coming along as an 89. Cale Makar with an 85. I didn't realize this. Morensky and Fabro are both sitting here at 88s. And then we have Maurer and Anderson, both couple young guys here. Anderson more so than Maurer, sitting at their 80 overalls. Anderson's this low elite again, but looking pretty good. And then between the pipes, we have Mr. Won't Grow the way he should, Christopher Alpetschauser, our franchise goalie. He's still considered a medium franchise, but he's not growing. So I'm thinking, realistically, this might be as good as he gets. So if that's the case, do we make a move? We don't know. And then Mads Sogard is our backup, and he had a fantastic year for us, actually. So there's our lineup. We are looking fan-freaking-tastic. And with that, let's head into game number 1. Our AHL team's already won with Mr. Patterson, who led the league in scoring. It also has 2 points in our first playoff game. Look at the last 10 for us, 9-0-1. Not too shabby, 62-13-7. Now, basically what our NHL team is 63-15-4. We're 8-1-1 versus a Winnipeg team that's 4-6 in their last 10. Let's see if we can come up here and get a 1-0 series lead. All right, with everything going on in the world right now, let's see if Thunder Bay can come out to an early lead in period number 1. We do. Cole Perfetti, the guy who said, I don't know if he will last on the team next year, says, don't worry, I got this. It's 20 seconds in, scores from the corner. Now, the big thing that this brings up, and I mean, it's something I've been saying for a very long time, why the hell is our coach so bad? I mean, I'm glad we scored, but why is Cole Perfetti on the third line starting the game? It doesn't matter. And then, like 2.5 minutes later, they're back on because Avery is a third liner as well. So again, our third line, fantastic. And you can say, Coach, why are you getting upset your third line scoring? You're right. But our third line should not be starting the game and should not have this much ice time already. But they do. And it's working. So I guess beggars can't be choosers. Let's see what period number 2 looks like. Oh, and then Mr. 20-year-old defenseman Noah Anderson scores. And then Mark Stone. I didn't realize I had Mark Stone. Wasn't paying enough attention, I guess. Mark Stone picks up a goal late in the second period there to make it 3-2-1. And let's see what the third period brings here. We are shooting 23-18, a pretty good game by Alpetschauser. And again, probably our third line. I'm going to look at stats. I'm guessing our third line is going to be pretty up there in minutes. But, Claude Giroux on the power play. Mr. 40-year-old man really wants a cup coming through for Winnipeg. But is it too little, too late? It is. We end up shooting them 33-30, so pretty close in shots. Both goalies played fairly well. I'm curious if both goalies are going to get a start here. Nope, but Alpetschauser does with a 9:33. Anderson with a goal and assist. Avery with a goal and assist. 0 hits, though. Come on, boys. Throw that body around. If we look here, let's look at ice time real quick. So, this is crazy. Avery has 10 minutes. Perfetti has 15. And who else is in that line? Raymond. Lucas Raymond had no points, so that's interesting. Had 10 minutes as well. So Perfetti is getting some power play time, and that's why. But 10 minutes for Lucas Raymond. So they started the game. They probably played most of the first period, and then they didn't play the rest of the game. Does not make sense to me. Who is our workhorse here? We got Wingruski at 26 minutes. Renski, Makar, Fabro. So, our top forwards at 17:55. God, I feel like this coach is Mike Babcock. Just rolling all 4 lines for absolutely no reason. If you guys aren't Leafs fans, the whole controversy in Toronto was that Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner were getting 16, 17, 18 minutes a night when realistically the Stars are playing over 20. And then you have your third and fourth liners playing way too much. So I feel like we have a Mike Babcock on our hands. We'll see if we can actually win a playoff series here. Sorry about that. See if we can actually win a playoff series here to kind of buck the trend a little bit. We're going to simulate here to game number 2. We're still in the Sunshine Palace in the good old Thunder Bay, Ontario. Simulate game number 2. All right, and we're going to go quickly into this. And we're going to see what period number 1 looks like. Please don't be a goal 20 seconds in by our third line. We do score. And it is Jaden Kincaid. All right, followed by Forsback Carlson and then Kincaid again. So a couple first-line points there. That's what we like to see. And then a fourth-liner kicking in too. But, really, Forsback Carlson wouldn't be the fourth line on very many teams. We are getting outshot 14-8. So Jonesy had a really bad first period, only making 5 saves on 8 shots. Let's see what period number 2 brings. And, there's a lot of scoring. So they got Bellew. We'll go with that. Scored twice, and Mark Scheifele on the third line got one. But then they pulled their goalies. So on Bustad, we scored twice by Arthur Ald and Cale Makar. So we had 10 shots and 2 goals. So again, better, but still not fantastic goaltending by the Winnipeg Jets. With that being said, they've scored 3 goals and 22 shots. So we really need Mr. Christopher Albertschauser to pick up his pace here in the third period. Would love to get an insurance marker. Cole freaking Perfetti. Nice to see you, kid. I was going to say we haven't seen Barkov, but there's Will Nye, the hockey guy. Would nice to get a Barkov goal. But again, 2 goals there and 4 shots this period. Not great at all. Power play goes to waste. Yes, it does. But we will take a wonderful 7-3 win. And that's what you like to see. I mean, realistically, when you looked at our team, this is what you expected. Kincaid, 2 goals. Nylander with 3 points, and same with Barkov. So I said I want a Barkov goal, but he got 3 apples, so you can't complain there. But this is what you expect. I mean, their defense is far inferior to ours. Their goaltending is inferior to ours, so we should be the better team. It's not always going to work out that way. Ernesto Anderson, our third pairing defense, is leading the team in points with 4. So we're just balanced scoring. So we have 10 goals in this series so far. It's pretty balanced. I think our third line's probably been our best line offensively. Without changing too much up here, let's actually just look at our line scoring. So we got Jaden Kincaid, who's now up to an 88. So, I mean, our worst player on our first 3 lines is an 88. And then Nyquist is up to a 91 if he wasn't already. I can't remember. But Kincaid has 2 goals, 7 penalty minutes, though. The kid's a goon. +2. Barkov, just 3 points. So these guys, all their points came last game. Barkov, 0 penalty minutes. Same as Nylander, things you like to see. Kincaid getting more ice time, as is Barkov and Nylander. And then Arthur Ald, I mean, down to 14.5 minutes of ice time, but 3 points in 2 games. Costin not really doing much, only 1 apple. But look at these guys. Look at these ice time, like 14 minutes. Nobody on our fourth line or second line had more than 15 minutes. Like, I just don't understand it. And then Cole Perfetti at 14, but our third line, again, just nobody's great either. And what's our fourth line looking like? I mean, our fourth line has more time on ice than our third line. So, regardless, I think of what happens, we might have to look at a coaching change this offseason. Even if we win, we just need to make more sense for our team. And the way I like to coach and the way I like to set up the team isn't really to have our third and fourth lines playing just as much. I mean, we're very top heavy. Once we get some salary cap crunch here going on, I think you're going to notice that we're not going to have much of a third or fourth line, so we really need somebody who's going to play the top lines more aggressively. Until we get there, though, let's see what we can do in the Bell MTS. No, this isn't Bell MTS. What is the arena name for Winnipeg? Oh my goodness, we're going to find out after this game. But after period number 1 in Winnipeg, Winnipeg is up on a Myers goal. Okay. Shots are close, 9-8. What's going to happen here, period number 2? There we go. Will Nye, the hockey guy, Barkov, and Barkov. Barkov didn't like his name coming up, that he wasn't doing too well. So a couple power play points plus Will Nye, the hockey guy. I'm guessing that's just going to be some first line mojo going there. Now, the only thing is we're only a +1 on that line, so depending if they're on for the goal against Winnipeg, I don't know. But we have picked up the shots out, shooting them 26-19. There's no K in 19. But I said like it anyways, and we're going to move past it and not worry about it. Period number 3. All right, they are catching up on shots. They just have all the momentum. There we finally get some shots, but Mark Scheifele says, doesn't matter. But Arthur Ald says, hey, my 14 minutes and I at least need to get a goal. Otherwise, coach is going to bench me. And then Avery, our third line, scores right after, 5-2. This is just a series that's in the bag for us. Jaden Kincaid with 4 minutes left, and that's just all she wrote. All right, Winnipeg. Looks like Thunder Bay may be a little too much to handle. You guys are thinking you have the worst winters and the worst weather in Canada in the NHL, but guess what? Thunder Bay is going to give you a run for your money. Barkov and Nylander had some hits this game, as were last time. It was Kincaid with the hit, and Nylander and Barkov each had 0. But 3 points for Barkov, 2 for Nylander, 2 for Jaden Kincaid. And we have a goaltender who is playing well. I would love to see some growth from him. Unfortunately, it looks like one of our minor league team lost a game. We've played 3 games and only 2 points. So that's how many points the guy Peterson had after the game 1. So we have 8 goals in 3 games and have yet to eclipse 2 points. They've scored 1 goal a game and have seemed to win one. So that's very interesting. Hopefully we can figure it out there. But it is Bell MTS Center. I was right. Okay. Well, we are going to stay in Winnipeg. It is short weather for us because, we're from Thunder Bay. It's okay. We don't mind the weather. And we're going to do what Washington and Buffalo are trying to do as well as Vancouver. So we are going for 4 sweeps in this first round. I know. I jinxed it. I'm well aware. But we're going to try to overcome what I said and overcome that jinx and hopefully, head back to Thunder Bay looking at our series number 2 opponent. All right, period number 1. 3-0 Winnipeg. Coach, what are you doing? Old man Giroux, big guy Jacob Larson, and Mr. Beautiful himself scored. All right, 3-0. Shots are 12 apiece. Albert Schauser, I was saying how good you were, and then you let me down. But period number 2 goes our way. Lucas Raymond, Sven Nyquist, and Mr. One Apple through 3 games. Klim Kostin come back in the second period. So period number 3, we are ahead in shots 25-23. It is now 26 all. Winnipeg has a power play. We kill it off. Thunder Bay has a power play, and Winnipeg kills it off. All right, 32 shots apiece. And Patrick Laine, the first time I've had to say his name, and that's good because he is an ugly mother trucker. But it looks like he put Winnipeg ahead, and that's all she wrote. 39-35 shots were the final. Albert Schauser couldn't close the hole, and Winnipeg forces a game 5. Mr. Larson, Mr. Laine had the first and second star, but Mr. Sven Nyquist of the second line had 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 hit. We're going to call that the new Gordie Howe hat trick. Actually, let's just call that the Sven Nyquist hat trick. 1-1-1. All right, looks like we're heading back to Thunder Bay regardless. And all right, Vancouver did get the sweep, and Washington was not able to close it out either. We'll see what Buffalo is able to do here when we sim. Our AHL team also finished ahead, and Montreal was also able to win their game. All right, our AHL team won 2-0, and Mr. Party he's up to 3 points, so still nobody a point per game. You would like to see something more, like we have Mr. Sasha Barkov with 7 points in 4 games. And we're going to look to add on to that now here. Hopefully we get another big 3-point game from him. Things you would love to see. All right. Period number 1. We are in the Sunshine Palace of Thunder Bay, Ontario. And there's goals galore, but it is 2 apiece. Sammy, Nico, and Myers score early on in the first 2 minutes. The Winnipeg Jets are up 2-0. They have all the momentum, but Will Nye, the hockey guy, says, hey, give me the puck in the slot and look what happens. And then Kincaid, just a couple minutes later, says if Will Nye can do it, I can do it too. And it is 2-2, even though Albert Schauser has let 2 goals on the 8 shots. Things we're not going to talk about after period number 1. But after period number 2, it is 5-3. Barkov on the power play again. Then Patrick Laine on the power play. So both teams' power plays are kicking, because Lucas Raymond also gets one on the power play, and then Jaden Kincaid gets one in regulation. So we're up 5-3, which is great. We are killing them in shots, 33-17. But Albert Schauser, that means you are not having a great game. We need you to shut it down here, okay? This is game 5. This is an elimination game for Winnipeg. They're going to be bringing it, but we need you to close that 5-hole. We need you to be on your athletic ability to shut the door. And Claude Giroux says, coach is talking, I'm going to score. And he did. But Zach Werenski says, don't worry, coach, I got you. I appreciate you bringing me to Thunder Bay. This has been a great thing for my career. And this is what I wanted, where I want to be when I win my first Stanley Cup. And you know what, Zach? We are going to win a Stanley Cup, because as soon as it started, it is over. The Thunder Bay North Stars are on to round number 2. Did Barkov get 3 points like I requested? He did. And 7 hits. Kincaid had 5 points. 2 goals, 3 assists, 2 hits. William Nylander had 1, 2, and 2. Oh my goodness, what a dominant performance from our first line. Did anybody else do anything? We got our first line getting, combined 11 points. Sven Nyquist and Klim Kostin both had 2 apples. Zach Werenski had a goal. Cale Makar had an apple. Lucas Raymond had a goal on our third line. And ice times William Nylander, Barkov, Kincaid all had over 20 minutes. The coach must have been listening to me. Although our third line of Avery only had 6 minutes when I already see Liam Foudy here with 10. Not sure how that happened. Ernesto Anderson's down 9 minutes in that game. I guess we did not play our third pair defenseman. But yeah, the time allocation, like our third line is getting way less time than our fourth line. I don't get it. Do not get it, but we will make some changes if we see fit come the off season. Awesome job, Thunder Bay. Not Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. All right. We have Barkov averaging 2 points a game. Does anybody else close out their series yet? Well, Vancouver swept, which is awesome. But we're going to see who we have in round number 2. I didn't even look at the standings to know who we might play. We are going to continue simming. And, who is the Belleville Senators? Oh, my goodness. You know what? Nobody wants to be from Ottawa or the Belleville area. Nobody wants to be a Senator, not even the Senators themselves. All right, we're waiting for... Oh, and there it is. Do we play Colorado again? Maybe? We do play the Avalanche, who had a 52-win regular season. That's not too shabby. But they are no Thunder Bay North Stars. Very, very quickly, we are going to take a quick look at the lines because it's going to be quick. We will spend more time on this the next episode. But let's look for... Why can't I see Colorado? There they are. Mikko Rantanen, McKinnon, and Bohinski. Who is Bohinski? He is a second overall pick, power forward. He's looking pretty, though. He is looking pretty. He's a right wing playing on the right side with Rantanen and McKinnon. Rantanen's a center, right? No, he's an actual left wing. Okay. Then we got Landeskog, Travis Arnett, and I didn't know they had Capo Caco. They're the ones who got him. Okay. Mr. Ty Ratty, Sam Steele, former Thunder Bay North Star, right? Yeah, we traded him there after a couple seasons. Now, he's not putting up 52 points like he did for us, but you can't really expect him to. Still an 82 overall. We traded him. He was an 85. Oh, we also traded John Quenneville. Forgot about that. Oh, this is part of the Cale Makar trade. That's right. I think it was part of the Cale Makar trade. I don't know. I think so, yeah. Oh, Quenneville might not have been because he went from us to the minors to Carolina. So I don't know what we would have got for him, but he's 29 points. So he's really taken off. With Carolina, he had 29 points, 26. Then he had 41 points this year with the Colorado Avalanche. Then they have Rubtsov, Lazarev, and Dominic Simon. Defensively, they have Brandon Carlo, Dougie Hamilton, who have both dropped significantly in overalls. Nikita Zadorov, who's never that good anyways. Nicholas Haig, Oliver Torrent, and Johnny Merrill. That had an ugly stash. And in net, I don't know who the goalie is. They have Philip Gustafsson, who we traded there, and Carey Price. So how's Gustafsson doing this season? He did nothing wrong by us, so I have no hard feelings. I wish him the well, and he did. He had 40 wins this season. 906 save percentage, 4 shutouts. That's awesome. Things you love to see. First time he's really been a starter ever since he was in the minors with Belleville. He had 20 wins, so not a great season. He was a backup in Jersey, backup for us, backup in Jersey again. Oh, he must have started the season in Jersey. Yeah, we got him halfway through. But 4-1. Then he went 13-3 with us. Had a rough year a couple years ago. Even rough year last year too. Traded him to Colorado. He becomes our starter and does a fantastic job. He is now considered an elite goaltender. Interesting. As where you have a backup in Carey Price, who must not be playing much at all. Yeah, 18 games. He lost his starting role in Montreal a couple years ago, it looks like, and has went downhill, but he had a good year as a backup in Colorado. So there is the team. That is who we play in the second round. I'm not worried, are you? I would think not. All right, until we get there, I will see you guys next time.